Hey there, Daniel for yourvocalteacher.com. You can reach me at yourvocalteacher@gmail. Yourvocalteacher.com is the website. Anyway, how's it going? I'm going to make a short video today on two topics that I get asked a lot. And, one topic that I get asked a lot, and then one that's kind of been bothering me lately. So, here we go. If you see me looking up here, I'm trying to look at notes because I can't remember anything. And I don't want to say 1,000 times. So, here we go. So everyone asks, how do I look at the voice? Like, what do I think's going on? What do I know that's going on, etc. So recently have tried to break it down very simply in the last couple of years. How simple can I make this? And it basically comes down to a few principles. And I like to use the balloon as one principle. Meaning, if I blow the balloon, here's the air in the lungs, because the air goes in our lungs. And then these are the vocal cords, and if these are holding back the air properly, you get a nice, well, that's bad. We get a nice tone. The balloon is hardly deflating, right? But if this is not functioning properly, you get that. And that's when singers think, I need more air. I need more air. I can't hold the note. It's not that you need more air. You need to have the function here, the larynx working better, more proper. And then if that's too tight, it's not going to move. So that's the way I like to look at it. Also, I don't have to, when I make the sound, right? Such a horrible balloon today. But if I make the sound, whatever, and it's nice clean tone, it's going, I don't need to squeeze the balloon. Meaning, when I breathe, notice there's like a setup. I breathe normal pretty much. It's maybe a little bit deeper of a breath. My larynx went down a little bit just from breathing in. Now I just keep that position. So I'm not asking you to shove your larynx down, but there's no need for the larynx to move around when you sing. There's really not a huge need for that. It's going to move where it needs to move. But if it's moving because it's going to close the chords for you, it's going to keep it, quote, quote, like a full voice for you so you don't flip. It's going to raise and raise and raise, and then this is going to raise, and your jaw's going to get tight, and your tongue's going to get tight, and all these things. So I just think of it like someone's coming in. How do you breathe, Dan? Someone's coming in the room. If it's like a surprise, the larynx goes down, right? A half a yawn or the beginning of a yawn. And it's just stable. I'm not shoving it down. But some people almost kind of need that because they can't control it at all. I think there should be some kind of control over this. Personally. So you breathe in, and then you start a tone, and this doesn't have to move around because the muscles that operate the vocal cords are inside your Adam's apple. They're in there. So there's no reason for this and all this and all this to start working because the muscles are in there. And whenever I watch really good singers, like my old coach, watching him do it, and like really good singers, you'll notice that this kind of a lot of times stays really soft. And you know, some people less fat, so you're going to see more striations and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I talk so fast because I don't want to do long videos. But the muscles are in here. The muscles aren't out here. The vocal cords are in here, they're not out here. There's no reason for it to be going all over the place and jamming you up. So I like to look at it that way, and so inside here is where the chords close. And then also, so if we're talking the different registers of the voice or different feelings that you might feel, well, you definitely feel something, feels much different than ooh, ooh. It's definitely something different going on. Something different happening there. And when you're in your head voice or your falsetto, if you're in the wrong one, which I consider like the wrong one, and I hear a lot of people do this a lot, there's no way you can crescendo on that. And that's how I know I'm in the right space. If I can take like a high C or something, or even a high B flat. If I could take a high B flat, so if I take that high B flat, no movement. Now, it will move when I sing, or if I'm, singing more pop and rock, it's going to raise a little bit for sure. But I'm just warming up. I actually try to keep it there. I'm not trying to shove it down. I'm trying to keep this, if that's where I start. You know what I'm saying? So, not changing. I couldn't do that if I was going, it's not going to work. It's the wrong one. And you could hear, another thing I want you to be conscious of is listening back to yourself to find out if you're in the right position right there. If I'm in the right position, it doesn't sound like I'm reaching to get the note. Right? I'm not reaching. But if I go, it sounds like I'm reaching. I'm not going to be able to get it. It's not going to happen. Right? It's almost like that's just another extension of your speaking voice. So take your speaking voice, which I'll talk about. And if you go, ooh, I'm speaking to you, ooh, sounds like I'm reaching, sounds strange, sounds tension. Ooh, does not. Ooh, reaching, ooh, not reaching. I like to look at it like that. That's another thing that I get into a lot. Also, like placement, if the voice if the chords are balanced with the air correctly, if the vocal folds are operating optimally and they're balancing the air right, I don't really have to think of placement that much. But if it's got like a dull sound, like, keyboard's not working. If I'm going like, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Even though it's not hard, it's not really optimal as far as placement goes because it's kind of dull. It sounds dull. Versus, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. It's different. It's because the chords are actually more taut. They're a little bit, they're straight. I don't know. I like to say they're not loose chords. They're taut chords and they're together really well, holding back that air. That's the way. Another thing I like to look like if I'm taking a lesson from you, I'll talk about that a lot. You want nice taut chords. You don't want loose chords. In vocal fry, for instance, the chords are squeezed together, but they're loose. So they're, and then they get a nice taut sound. If you stay in that position, if you go to like your speaking voice, this is my speaking voice. It's kind of loose, really. Because if I go up from there, I'm going to go there, get that sound. But if I go to my singing voice, just more taut chords holding back the air better, they're in a better position. It's much easier. And it's much easier now, and that took me a while to change the way I sung. Like I used to not sing this way. I used to sing the other way. And another thing that comes into this is talking about, let me see. Let me look up here for a second. Did I say everything I wanted to say? I guess a main complaint that I'll get is, I don't change my ideas, or I do change my ideas. I try to go from student to student and see what their personality's like and how to teach them. But I stay with the same ideas. I'm not like using all kinds of fancy exercises anymore and crazy sounds and weird sounds. And, a lot of times I'll get, well, my teacher told me that I have tongue tension. My teacher told me I have jaw tension. My teacher told me I have, root tongue tension, acid reflux. They're always like trying to tell you have this thing, when in actuality, if you just adjust the fundamentals, the basics, that goes away. I had massive jaw tension for 20 years singing. The moment I kind of figured out what singing was for me, that went away. It was awesome. I was like, oh, no more jaw tension. What happened with that? So, yeah. So the next thing I like to talk about is, it's kind of a tough one because I feel weird about it. And it kind of stems from, I saw a video on Mike Dolce. He's a fitness trainer. He's a dietitian, fitness trainer guy. And I'm very much into diet and fitness as well. And I get caught in these traps. Like when I get an ailment, it's like, oh, I need this new program for strength and conditioning because this guy does all these new things. This guy does all these things. And when I watched Mike Dolce talk about this thing, he made a lot of sense. And it's like, I like methods, people that put out programs out there and books and all that. That's all fine. But what I don't like is when they're always trying to upsell. There's always an upselling, a retargeting of a new service. And to me, it's kind of like a false bill of goods, is the way I think Mike Dolce put it. Because if the original product was good, there would be no reason to change it. Sure, people could come back for, haven't seen the person in a while and you kind of want to retune up or whatever. That's fine. But what they're doing is they're targeting you, they're monetizing you, and they're trying to make you put a fear in you, and then they get you, and then you're always buying the new product. Oh, I need this. I must need this because this is going on. I must need this because I'm not doing this right. Instead of just, what I really dig now about health and fitness is just fundamentals and just watching the way you do those, just like with vocal technique. So with fundamentals, it would be like the squats, doing chin-ups, doing push-ups, doing dips, those type of exercises, but making sure you do them with really good form. There's no need, there's so many programs out there, and all these guys in the program telling you, okay, so you need to do this, and you need to put your arm in traction, then move it like this, you need to do this, you need to do this is why your squat's bad, this is why this is bad. And it's really, and they go, oh, so it's the new program on this, the 2.0 program, the 5.0 program. And to me, it's like I said, people kind of always come down, hey, Dan, how come you don't, change up your mind and change your ideas? And I go, because it works. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. How many products have you had? Even a computer. The computer's great. And then what do? The new iOS comes out, and you got to buy the new iOS. Then you got to get the new iOS. Then you get the new iOS. And Pro Tools comes out, and you got to get another Pro Tools. You got to get another Pro Tools. Things like that. When the guys that are really smart, just, this program is rock solid. I know how to use it really well. I'm sticking to this. And that's the way I kind of look at the voice as well. Because I think there's too much out there, too many people trying to suck that out of you. You know what I mean? And that bums me out just as a person. Let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about here? Yeah, so just remember talking about the singing thing again. The way I look at the voice, it's very simple. Air goes into the lungs, air comes up because it goes in, it has got to come out. The vocal cords work together with the air. You feel the pressure because they're holding back the air good. That's your appoggio, and you're holding back the air. It's working well. And then if that's working, it's gonna sound correct. It's gonna be good. Also that falsetto thing, because that's gonna work when you're singing connected up there. You got to get through the passaggio. The passaggio is a real thing, and your voice has to almost do something different. I always do things with my hands as I'm going through. I'll go, because my chords feel like they're doing something a little different there. You know what I mean? I know I changed the vowel, but they do. That the vowel determine the register, a la Burton Coffin. So that is something I kind of do. I kind of feel something different, and it's very simple. I don't, you don't have to go through, I got to do tongue exercises. I got to do a bunch of jaw exercises. I got to do this. I got to get the new straw. Oh, they got new straw 6.9. It's a metal straw. To me, this is all bullshit. You don't need any of this. So, and that's just my thoughts on this. You know, people always ask, you know, how do you feel about the voice? What's a simple way of looking at it? And that's my simple way of looking at it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Daniel, yourvocalteacher@gmail.com, and go to the website, yourvocalteacher.com. And I'm still teaching Skype, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.